What's up, squad? I'm
Caitlin,
and today we just thought we would go through and give you a little bit of a tour of our cosplay workroom. We've been meaning to do this for so long. This is also actually the second time we're recording this because we recorded it the first time without a mic and we decided that it didn't sound good. So
wasn't good enough.
We have a mic now, so hopefully the sound's a bit better. We had this room, well, not we had this room built. Our parents were very nice and built this room sort of onto our house. So where we're standing now used to be like an alfresco area. Now it's the place where we sit and work for hours on end. So we're just gonna go through and sort of show you how we've set up the room, what stuff we use, our sewing machines, and how we store our cosplay. So hope you enjoy.
So this is our work table. We got this table from IKEA, and at our dad's recommendation we actually got forget what it's called, one of those tables where you can move it up and down. You can change the height, which as it turns out is, I reckon, invaluable when you're a cosplayer, because there are times when it's easier to work standing up and you want the table to be at a good height for you to stand, and maybe you're drafting a pattern or something like that. But then to be able to then also lower it so that you can sit and maybe work for a long period of time is really, really good as well. We got a white one just so it matches the rest of the room, even though we knew that, of course, being a work table, it's gonna get dirty. So this sits in the middle of the room so that we can work. It's actually very light as well, which is great. It means that Caitlin and I can easily move the table if we need to. So yeah, this is at kind of a good standing height. I'm not sure what the maximum height is, but if you come around this side, I'll show you how we can actually adjust it for a sitting height. This is this table is manual in terms of adjusting the height. We could have gotten one that adjusts with like a button, but it was more expensive, and honestly this one is fine. So underneath the table there's a little kind of handle that comes out, and then you just turn the handle. It's like a crank handle. You just turn it and the table slowly lowers, and then you can put it as low as you need to then sit down. So let's say that much, and you just push the handle back in all the way, click it back into place underneath. The chairs are from IKEA as well. They're just kind of standard office chairs. They're pretty comfortable, which is good. And then you're at a sitting height. You've got to have a good work table in a workroom, in my opinion.
You look like you're about to be like, hello MTV, welcome to my crib.
Welcome.
So on this side of the bench, we've got our sewing machines. So we've got our Bernina sewing machine that we've had like since we started, which was 5 years ago, but I think it's older than that. So this is a very old machine. It's actually not being made anymore. So I'll go and look at whatever the equivalent sewing machine is when I'm editing this. But this is a really nice one. It's an electronic sewing machine. That's why it's got like the screen and the hundreds of buttons on it. So that's an electronic one. Then over here we have our new sewing machine, which is the Singer cosplay sewing machine. We didn't purchase this ourselves. We won this at Supernova. Thank you. We haven't used it too much yet, but this is a mechanical sewing machine, so it's different from the other one. We'll probably be doing sort of like a review comparison video of our machines once we've used this one a bit more. So far it's okay. It's taking some getting used to because it's different from that one. So that's our sewing machines. Over here we've got our lovely thread rack. We just bought this from eBay for like 20 bucks, but it's really good because it's got heaps of sticks that you can put your thread on. So we've got like all of the machine thread up there. Yes, we just use birch thread. I have been told that birch thread is terrible, but we've never had any issues. And I think it's really affordable as well. So we haven't had any issues with birch thread. I don't know. And then down here, we've got all of our bobbins with some different threads on them. So that's all of our thread. Over here, just all of our paintbrushes. We tend to accumulate a lot of paintbrushes because we'll buy like a pack of 4. 2 of them will get kind of wrecked because we forget to wash them, and then, you know, we'll go out and buy another pack of 5. So we accumulate paintbrushes very easily. Oh, this thing. This was actually, it came with like a margarita making kit that I got given for KK or Secret Santa, whatever you call it. And I wasn't actually gonna make like a fishbowl margarita, so we put pens in it and it looks nice. These are all of the different feet that came with the cosplay sewing machine, because it came with a bunch of different feet, like a walking foot and a ruffle foot and all that stuff. And it also came with this table extender. Haven't used that yet. And then this, we got this in Mauritius. It's just a little wooden box and it's got the cover of one of the Tintin books on it. We love Tintin, we've read like all of them, and we have the entire box set of the series. We just use this to hold like feet for the sewing machine. And I think also like empty bobbin cases. But it's really pretty and it's really cool. So yeah, that's our sewing machines and thread and stuff.
So over here we have our overlocker. I don't know, it's fine, you know, like we don't really know much about overlockers, but this one does the job for us. It's normally threaded with white or black. Threading an overlocker is like the worst. It's the worst thing to do. So we very rarely do that. And then we have a number of drawers over here which we keep all of our sewing equipment as well as some other kind of various things. The way we organize it, we try to make it so the top drawer had the things we need most often, so like scissors. So we've got lots and lots of different scissors. These ones are Caitlin's scissors. Only she's allowed to use them. But we have a whole bunch of different scissors. Obviously we were like a tape measure and different measuring things, safety pins. The thing we really like about these drawers is that they are those like smooth close drawers. So they're on very smooth rollers, and they do that thing where when you get close to closing it, it kind of slows it down so you don't slam things. Then we've got stuff like all sorts of elastic, as well as webbing. Oh, here we go. So some webbing as well. Different needles, needles for our sewing machine as well, in case we break a needle. Lots and lots of pin cushions. I made these pin cushions when I was in school. I was in like year 8, maybe, when I made those. Quick unpicks. We've got lots and lots of them. Third drawer. Wowie. Third drawer is
a mess.
No, honestly, I mean, if we just look at this section, that's quite nice, isn't it? So lots of ribbon. I'm not sure when we collected this ribbon. We just have it. Don't remember actually ever buying any of this. Spare buttons, lots of lace and different kinds of trim. Spare zips that we've never used, only in ugly colors though. And I'll just show one more drawer. So this is a lot of different dyes. So whenever I'm dyeing, or whenever me or Caitlin, if we're dyeing, you know, stretchy polyester or anything like that, we use iDye Poly. Whereas when you're using, and this one as well, because this is for synthetic materials, whereas you can get regular RIT dye if you're using cotton, and then just kind of various bits and bobs. The last two drawers, not really that important. I think there's stuff like extra thread for the overlocker and other just random stuff. That's why they're kind of down in the bottom drawers. But yeah, that's kind of an idea of all the stuff that we kind of use when we're working in this room.
So we have one entire wall of our workroom that is just cupboards, and they hold most of the stuff that we keep in here, from our actual cosplays to our wigs, fabric, props, foam, pretty much everything. So we'll just start with these middle two cupboards. So these ones hold our cosplays that can't be hung up, so they're put in boxes. So this is Ali's side, and this is my side. We've just got a bunch of stuff stored in boxes so that they don't take up a lot of room. We put the names of the cosplays on the front of the boxes, so we don't have to go searching for a specific cosplay, we just have to look at the name. I know it looks a little bit messy, but it does kind of make sense. We have to store some of our shoes and some of like the bigger props in here because we just ran out of room and they don't fit anywhere else. But yeah, that's kind of how we store sort of half of our cosplays. Underneath those two drawers, we've got these sort of little pull-out drawers. The ones on this side is for all of our paint. So on the top here, we've got blues, blacks, pinks and purples, and we've also got all of our fabric paint. And then the one underneath, we've got sort of reds, yellows, greens, browns, and white. We've also got in this drawer down here, not all of the cupboards are just big empty spaces. We've got some like pull-out drawers in them. This is kind of where we store a lot of our foam props. So you can see up the top here, we've sort of like grouped them together. So all of my Genos armor is up here, all of my stuff for Midnight. Underneath that, we've got a lot of our stuff for Mickey and Lou. So like my BMX, what's it called? BMX gear, that stuff. It's there. And then, you know, more shoes. Shoes take up so much room. Like we do have another cupboard like this that's for shoes, but it's full. So we kind of have to store shoes wherever they'll fit. And also some Nerf guns that we're hopefully going to repaint at some point so that they don't look like Nerf guns. We also store all of our wigs in these cupboards. So this is Ali's wig cupboard. I have one, but it's on the other side. So we've got some wigs on wig heads. It's normally the wigs that have a lot of styling done to them, so we can't really lay them flat because it'll ruin the wig. But yeah, we don't really know how to store wigs properly. Kind of glad we're not showing my wig cupboard because it's a slight mess. We just sort of lay wigs in here as neatly as we can, but we're sure there's a better way to do it. So if you know a good way to store wigs, please tell us, because it stresses me out that all of my wigs are just kind of lying on top of one another. In here we've actually also got some of our fabric. So up the top, it's just white fabric. We tend to have a lot of it. And then down the bottom is your blacks and your browns. On the other side, we've got the rest of our fabric. So this cupboard is basically mirrored on the other side. So it's got my wigs and the rest of our fabric. This cupboard on the end here, it's actually not two separate like drawers. It's just one big one. And this is where we hang all of the cosplays that are able to be hung up. So the top one is a little bit shorter. So, you know, there's a lot of like shirts in there, stuff like that. And then the bottom one is a little bit longer. So that's where we put, you know, pants. There's my Tyrene shirt, which has long coattails. There's some felt up the top there that just doesn't quite fit anywhere else. And I think we also have some like little petticoats up there. But yeah, we've just got that extra little shelf. Again, one of those spaces where you just kind of put stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else. That's how we sort of hang our cosplays and like try and keep it neat. Would definitely recommend having a lot of like cupboard space and places to store things if you're a cosplayer, because you do accumulate a lot of stuff and you don't think about it. You're like, oh, I made this cosplay, but when you're not wearing that cosplay, you kind of have to put it somewhere. So try and have a lot of space for storage.
So that was a look at our cosplay workroom. We hope that you liked seeing what our workroom looks like, and maybe you got ideas of making your own cosplay workroom at home. So if you liked this video, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next video. Love you, bye! Love you, bye!